I'm here today with Misan Rewane of Wave Academy. She's going to tell us a little bit about her project and what she's doing in Nigeria.
Great. Wave, West Africa Vocational Education, trains unemployed young people who are self-motivated but underserved in primarily employability and vocational skills, and places them in entry-level jobs in high-growth industries like the retail and hospitality sector. So we train 18 to 35-year-olds, and we don't care if they have gone to university or not, as long as they have some secondary education and can follow what's going on in class. We're usually open to having them. And what we're really looking for is a determination to succeed and a willingness to learn. Wow. Since we started, we've trained 244 young people and counting. And we've placed 70% of them in entry-level jobs, frontline jobs primarily, and another 10% go on to get jobs on their own. And then at any given time, we're working on there's a 20% in the pool that comes in, and then we're always working on placing in jobs.
So what inspired you to start this?
I think it's always been a matter of seeing the opportunity that has been given to me and seeing the different trajectories that people who have opportunity are able to take in terms of what they're able to make of their lives. And so wanting to provide that access to opportunity for all people, regardless of the accident of birth, where they were born, and what financial means that they've had access to. So the idea is low-cost, affordable training to upskill young people who've already been shortchanged by an education system, and training that's linked to what employers are looking for to ensure that they do get jobs at the end of this, or there's economic opportunity around entrepreneurship, etc. So really it's this: to whom much is given, much is expected, and it's always been an awareness in me that I am a product of the opportunities that I've had access to.
What challenges did you face in the early stages?
I think there was a lot of doubt around how you would make young people employable, and not just employable, but place them in jobs where they have to be good ambassadors to grow a brand that didn't exist prior to this. And so when people are your product, it's very hard to manage some of the variability that comes out of that. So if a young person comes to you and says, hey, I'm not having a good time on this job, and because of that I'm going to start slacking around, or I'm going to quit, you have to then manage that and also get them to see the greater good, the bigger picture, and also manage their expectations about choices that they're making. And sometimes you have to let them go off and make their own mistakes and be okay with that, and be okay with how it affects the greater mission, but just brush the dirt off your shoulders and carry on. So I'd say some of the challenging parts, and my favorite and my least favorite part about my job is the fact that we deal with people, and people are our product.
What's the next step for Wave Academy?
So this year our focus is to train 500 people. Next year looking at expanding beyond Lagos. 2017 start to look at regional expansion into West Africa, and while doing that in parallel, try and start to see how we can inform changes in the bigger system. So we know that we can't get to the 40 million unemployed people, nor should we be trying to get to the 40 million unemployed people in West Africa, but how can we play a role in fixing the system? There's a bunch of coordination failures that have happened, and when you think about the disconnect between education providers and what employers are looking for, how do we get those two sides to start talking to each other? How do we make sure that people have access to financing to afford the institutions who are training them to get these sorts of jobs? And how do we make sure that employers are open to new ways of hiring and recruiting people that is more inclusive and not creating a barrier for those who can't afford to go to university?
How do we keep up with Wave on social media?
We have a Twitter account on @Wave Academies, plural, so WAVE Academies with an IES at the end. Same on Facebook, Wave Academies. Email info@waveacademies.org, and our website, same thing, www.waveacademies.org. And happy to speak and hear from more people in the diaspora who are looking for how to connect and volunteer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for joining us today.
Thank you.